What up? It's your boy T Reaction. Today's Wrestling Wednesday. So, bike into some videos. First video we get into is WrestleMania, and let's talk about the whole thing situation. While a lot of people feel that Triple H has ruined WWE now, he's become no better than Vince as well too. I mean, some could be true, but I don't know. I'm just wondering what the hell happened. Like, that's what I'm wondering. Like, how did he, had his good little run with NXT and everything, the main roster, and his first upstart with the main roster to now, where the situation is going with now, though. Let me check something real quick. I'm back. See, a lot of people, because I'm wondering what happened to this this upstart, especially since he took over Vince. I mean, it looks good, and then all of a sudden just still gone downhill. I'm just wondering what happened, though, in my opinion. Other than that, don't know why that's face this way. I need some light over here. Anyway, let's see the things that fortunately Triple H has ruined. Now, I think it's also more so TKO than Triple H himself, though. But that could be my opinion. But let me know what y'all think. Let's get it.
Since Triple H took over WWE Creative, he's had some absolute triumphs as WWE's lead booker. However, recently his creative output has been a mixed bag to say the very least. From botched retirement runs to alienating the audience, join us now as WrestleMania looks at 10 things Triple H has ruined in WWE. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. Number 10, the theme songs. And when
That's not his fault, but yeah, they do. Def Rebel need to get replaced soon. I think that's the name, right? Def Rebel need to be replaced. They need to get replaced soon. Yeah. That's their name, right? Def Rebel. They need to replace them soon. I mean, work out what they had going on with CFOs or something, man. Because it's hit and miss with them, but most of the time they miss. So yeah.
WWE first signed a deal with Def Rebel, fans were quite rightly worried. Hiring an unknown entity to produce music was a bold move, and due to WWE making budget cuts left, right, and center, fans were concerned that these themes would fall flat. Unfortunately, they were right. The theme songs produced by Def Rebel, well, with a few minor exceptions, have been utterly dreadful. They're soulless, generic, and all sound the same. Triple H has failed to realize the importance of a theme song in WWE, which is a big surprise, especially as his theme songs were such an integral part of his persona in the 90s and 2000s.
I feel like, I don't know if he has any say-so in it, but he could, who knows. But yeah, Def Rebel needs to be something to be done. Like I said, hit or miss, but most times it miss.
Theme songs for WWE talent just isn't a focus for the game, and it's not exactly clear why. Does the game strictly want to focus on the day-to-day product rather than production elements? Well, it's possible, but when fans are actively complaining about the same issue time and time again, not to mention the talent themselves even expressing a strong dislike towards modern theme songs, maybe this is just a sign that a big change is needed. Number 9, Royal Rumble 2025.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry about that.
Triple H's booking at the 2025 Royal Rumble came under fire, and the YouTube dislikes were so severe that mainstream media outlets began to cover the fan disdain. For the Women's Rumble, Triple H went with Charlotte Flair, and this was seen by many as a safe bet. But the issue was that it was just kind of boring and predictable. Triple H has been accused of playing things safe with his booking, and this was definitely the case here.
I guess you kind of say that with the playing it safe, though. I mean, sometimes you have to. I mean, I always got to deal with being a wrestling fan in general as well too, especially with the whole face and hill thing. People trying to get me to the dark side. No, I'm not doing it. Playing safe. I'm just playing safe, not trying to have no ideas and trying to protect my mental as well too. But that's another story. You know what I mean? So I understand that playing safe ball, but at the same time, I mean, the Royal Rumble, the Charlotte one was a little safe bet, but again, it did give us something with her and Tiffy, so that was pretty cool. But Jay, well, we're gonna see about Jay.
It came to the Men's Rumble, everyone expected either CM Punk or John Cena to win, but Triple H went with Jey Uso. This was an unusual move, as Jay had just wrestled for the world title 7 days prior, and now he was the #1 contender once more, despite losing convincingly in his last matchup. Whilst Jay was popular with the fans, was there even a desire from the audience to see Jay win the world title and potentially even main event WrestleMania? It also later surfaced thanks to WWE Unreal that Punk was the original pick for the winner of the match, before WWE and Triple H decided to go with Jay at the last moment. The Rumble was definitely the start of fans losing faith in the game, and this will be an ongoing trend throughout 2025. Number 8. Too many titles. Now there's always a risk when you introduce a new title into WWE that it can get lost in the shuffle.
Now I guess like I say that I can kind of agree with in a way though too. Because people complain about AEW having too many titles now. WWE's kind of do the same thing, so I guess that's the thing. The Speed Champion, I guess, is not too bad. This was like exclusive to Twitter at the time, but now it's not on Twitter anymore. It's on NXT only. I can see that going on as well too. A lot of people talk about downplay the women's tag title at times, as well. What other titles did downplay as well too? The mid card title from the women's as well. So yeah, I guess, but at the same time, it's also good to include other folks that feel like a champion as well too. So it's like 50-50 with that.
Sadly, this has been the case with numerous titles, including the Speed titles, and specifically the Women's US title. Now, at least to Triple H's credit, the Women's Intercontinental title has been presented perfectly, and it's a staple on virtually every single WWE
On the hill like Becky right now, but still.
Premium Live event. However, it could be argued that this is due to Becky Lynch holding the title and are actively pushing for the title to be presented strongly. When it comes to the Women's US title, this is a title that has truly struggled to gain any type of momentum. At the time of this video, the title has not been defended on a single main roster PLE, not a single one. This is incredibly alarming. The title is in essence a TV title, but WWE have the same 3 women feuding over the title, so it's impossible to take the championship seriously. Raw has struggled to book the tag titles in a meaningful way. The titles are rarely defended and are in
the Raw one is. I thought about that. The Raw one is a little bit defended as well too. That's know about that. Now, can't say for the SmackDown one. SmackDown tag team been cooking though, but still.
essence seen as background props for characters on the show. Number 7. Going too far. Not only under set circumstances would Vince McMahon allow his talent to break kayfabe. McMahon kept this approach for decades, and this was something that kept the integrity of WWE intact. But under Triple H, elements of kayfabe are heavily scaled back, and it was presented on Raw on the Netflix premiere that WWE was strictly a show and fans were watching a scripted spectacle. Triple H would even be a driving force behind WWE Unreal, a show in which reveals the creative process behind WWE's scripted product. The launch of this show received significant criticism from classic fans as well as certain wrestlers. Did fans really need to see the WWE creative meetings? Well, not really, as it was in essence used for content on the Netflix platform rather than anything substantial. Triple H would go on a mass media spree to promote the show, and he clapped back at any criticism fans had about the show, and virtually every...
Here's the thing, the Unreal one, I have no issue with it. I liked it. I liked it. I liked that. I don't think it was fully kayfabe broken in all as well too, but I liked it as well too. And like the anime, and like I said, Cody ones was stories last though, make it feel good. But I think my little speech about it got me out about a group that I wanted to be out of it anyway because it was run by is poorly ran down and biased as fuck though. So yeah, and that's that Java Tears group. So whatever.
answer he gave was condescending and out of touch. Yeah, of course, most fans are aware that WWE is a scripted medium, but reminding fans every 5 seconds that the show is scripted adds absolutely nothing to their viewing experience. Number 6. Pointless returns. One of the first things Triple H did when he took over was bring back numerous names that were fired under Vince McMahon.
Yeah, that one was not good, and that one did not, age well as well too. It was good that he brought folks back as well too to give them another chance, but then some of them end up being gone again as well too. And the biggest one was Karrion Kross though.
Most of these names were stars that Triple H was close with in NXT, and he evidently felt that they didn't get a fair shot in the company. A number of years after this agenda to bring back talent, only a handful of names remain that were initially brought back. The names that have been huge successes are Bronson Reed and Chelsea Green, whilst the names that completely flopped were names such as Emma and Hit Row. Triple H would re-sign over a dozen names without a creative plan in place, which was completely reckless. Why would he sign talent without any idea what he was going to do with them? Even former world champions that the game re-signed, such as Braun Strowman, were once again fired from the company, and it was almost as if Triple H was trying to prove a point to Vince McMahon, but this point didn't exactly land the way Triple H intended.
That seemed like now it's starting to look like that as well too. Like he's trying to stick it to me, man, but then it ended up forcing ended up backfiring though. So yeah.
Did. Number 5. Lying through his teeth. A
Oh,
TKO has
whoa.
made the executive call to make Triple H the face of the WWE corporate brand. In essence, Triple H is the first image fans see when it comes to any corporate promotion of the show. So if TKO needs to make any major announcements when it comes to WWE, Triple H is the man to do this. This makes sense, as after all, the game books the show, and in theory, having Triple H answer questions from the media should have fans build up an equity in him as a leader and a visionary. Sadly, in 2025, the game has had a weird vendetta against the fans and the wider media, and he's come across as extremely bitter and resentful.
At first, at first I don't like give him props for doing that though, cause he's sticking it to the dirt sheets. He's sticking it to the folks who have these little fancy booking as well. That fancy books himself to death. I get it, but now it's like it's coming to assess to the point that he's not really listening to the fans at all, which can kind of backfire in a way, in my opinion.
In various interviews across the year, the game has stated that WWE doesn't listen to the internet as the internet isn't real life, and all they do is complain. This is total
which is true.
fabrication on the part of the game.
Which is true, but at the same time, you can't fully ignore the internet. But it is true though. Like the IWC is like because the IWC is the worst part of the internet of wrestling fans of the internet and social media. It's got to be the worst, the hardest folks to ever please, no matter what. Is and in general with wrestling, especially with fans, especially with friends. I'm especially the situation because I'm witness of this. Damn if you do, damn if you do, damn if you don't. As well too. Whether it is self within wrestling or how folks fan. Like, I mean, because I told you, damn it, do, damn you don't. I root for a hill. I root for a hill. It's hill. If I don't root for a hill, they'll try to give you a case for not rooting for a hill. Like the prime example was Naomi, currently Naomi, and Solo right now, Dominic in a way. Like it's a no-win situation. Being a wrestling fan at times, for me, for most of us wrestling fans, including myself as well too.
As WWE have acted on fan complaints numerous times since he took over. The fan resentment towards Cody Rhodes losing his WrestleMania 40 spot even led to a major pivot in the company, so for the game to claim this is a total insult.
Okay, so
Triple H has also been caught out in other lies in 2025. He frequently claimed that John Cena is picking his final opponent in 2025, yet Cena has outright denied this any chance he can get. The game even tried to pin Brock Lesnar returning on Cena, and Cena was quick to state that he was just working with whatever WWE gives him. One of Triple H's more outlandish lies was when he claimed that R-Truth's firing was all part of the show, obviously implying that the firing and subsequent rehiring of R-Truth was just a storyline. R-Truth even had his own son publicly deny this, which was a dreadful look for Triple H and WWE as a whole. Number 4, taking on too much. A Triple H run
True. That's anybody. You taking on too much, it's gonna bite you in the butt. That's what anybody, anything.
WWE by himself is far too much for any company to ask, so the game delegates when it comes to certain shows, so he can put his focus into other areas. This has been seen with him delegating SmackDown to Road Dogg, which has received less than stellar results. On the contrary, the brand NXT, being led by Shawn Michaels, has been a shining light in
That's one, and this will get other gets me though. Like this was like him and Shawn were tight. How is NXT doing so great again? Because that's what how it was before. We did, by that time it was both him and HBK, while Vince was just staking up commercials. But now it's like now HBK got to hold it down for NXT, and NXT is cooking, especially with this TNA crossover. But at the same time, now H is not doing great with the main roster. What is going on? Like they're right there. Like how? I just don't understand.
recent years, as Michaels understands modern wrestling and his booking of the women's division in particular has received widespread praise. TKO has drastically altered the schedule in 2025, so whilst live events have been virtually abolished, the introduction of Saturday Night's Main Event has massively messed up WWE's pacing for shows. They went through a period of having a show every 2 weeks for the first half of 2025, and there were sometimes just 7 days between major shows. This may have worked if the shows were good, but the Saturday Night's Main Event shows have been underwhelming, and fans have even questioned if Triple H even cares about them. Triple H and Nick Khan would go on an extensive media tour promoting WrestlePalooza on ESPN, and they actively told everyone who would listen that the show was going to be a mini WrestleMania of sorts. Unfortunately, it surfaced that the build to the show wasn't the focus for the game, as during one of the episodes of Raw during the build to the show, he decided to miss the show in favor of filming Kill Tony. Shockingly, the game then publicly revealed that he hadn't even watched that edition of Raw that he missed, and he had zero idea that a planned segment between Io Sky and Stephanie
What was that Kill Tony about? Does that do with, do you think? I don't know.
Vaquer hadn't even gone ahead. Number 3. Over-reliance on celebs. A celeb's being
Hold on a second. Let me, my thing is like, I feel like my thing is down than usual, though. Because I'm seeing the bar. Let me turn the mic up a little bit. Alright. And let me check the mic, too. Alright. Now it's up. Okay, sorry, my voice, mic wasn't as much as up though. Man, let's keep going.
being involved in WWE is nothing new. However, under TKO, this has gone to an extreme. TKO and WWE will do just about anything for any type of celebrity endorsement. And whilst this has worked well with Bad Bunny and Jelly Roll, not every celebrity endorsement is going to lead to a surge of interest in the wider product. This has backfired massively on WWE with Travis Scott, as Scott was involved in a major angle with John Cena and Cody Rhodes, and was even presented as a difference maker in
that joint, that was like a bad one. I mean, that was just bad right there.
the WrestleMania main event. As Scott then disappeared from WWE programming, and it appears that both have cut ties. This was a complete waste of time and didn't lead to anything of note. Fans are quick to point out that whenever WWE promotes a new show such as WrestlePalooza on ESPN, they put celebrities such as Snoop Dogg at the forefront. This is confusing, as these names aren't on
Is this supposed to be slowing down like that? Hold on.
the angle with John Cena and Cody. ESPN need to realize that the WWE are going to be rather celebrities such as Snoop Dogg at the forefront. This is confusing, as these names aren't on the shows, so if new viewers expect to see the likes of Snoop Dogg on the show, then they're going to be rather disappointed. WWE and Triple H need to realize that the WWE boom period that began around late 2022 and early 2023 occurred thanks to the product being red hot. It wasn't due to the involvement of a single celebrity. Triple H is just so obsessed with making his product seem cool that he's forgetting what made the product receive popularity in the first place. Number 2. A dire WrestleMania. Now if there's one show Triple H and WWE can't afford to drop the ball on, it's WrestleMania. WrestleMania is WWE's signature showcase, and thanks to stellar offerings with WrestleMania 39 and WrestleMania 40 respectively, WWE fans expected greatness with WrestleMania 41. Ultimately, WrestleMania 41 was one of the worst offerings of the Triple H era. A lot of the matches didn't land, and certain matches such as Logan Paul vs AJ Styles and New Day vs the War Raiders were met with utter silence from the crowd. This was partly due to tiresome build for the biggest show of the year where nothing felt developed and everything was thrown together without any purpose. The biggest match that Triple H dropped the ball on was the Night 2 main event, specifically John Cena's WWE title win. The match was slow, boring, and when Travis Scott interfered, it made things even worse. The Rock not appearing wasn't Triple H's fault, but he could have easily come up with a better finish that didn't send the fans home angry and disappointed. And number 1, John Cena's retirement tour. The retirement of John.
Here's the thing with that. I mean, I feel like the heel turn shouldn't have happened, or at least should have waited till WrestleMania 41 to happen away as well too. If you had to have it happen as well. But that kind of ruined it. I mean, the heel tour, I guess, made sense, but at the same time, they didn't orchestrate it correctly for the heel fans to the point that even the heel fans was feeling it. And then going forward, and then the way he lost to Brock, that was just utter bullshit right there. So yeah, hopefully it bounces back soon with him going against AJ Styles, crown jewel, but still. Hopefully, the last leg of it gets better as well too. Doesn't end up being another flop like the Kurt Angle one. But anyway,
John Cena is single-handedly the biggest missed opportunity of the modern era. Cena was available for every single PLE in 2025, and this could have been used to build compelling story arcs, revisit classic feuds, and have Cena work with names he's never worked with before. Triple H's grand idea was to turn Cena heel. Granted, this was a pivot as The Rock wanted Cody Rhodes to turn heel, but everyone, including Rhodes, knew that this was a backwards move. Turning the face of WWE heel for no other reason other than to create headlines would have backed.
Or please the heel fans, people want that. Oh, we want Cody Lander and whatever. No, but yeah, but yeah, glad they went with it. But at the same time, it's still in the backfire. But now probably people still want it to happen at SummerSlam when the double turn happens. I'm saying, but glad it didn't happen. Anyway, let's keep going.
Backfired massively. With that being said, did WWE still need a major heel turn? Well, no, not really. The heel turn itself was delivered well. However, with The Rock stepping away from the storyline, Triple H needed to creatively explain the rationale behind the heel turn. Triple H's best idea would to have Cena claim that he was going to ruin pro wrestling, and this was because the fans booed him at one period during his career. This made no sense. Cena hadn't been booed in a number of years. In fact, those fans that previously booed Cena were now his biggest supporters.
Exactly.
This just didn't work, and Cena would strip back all the fun elements of his babyface presentation, and it just wasn't landing. Cena would also drastically alter his promo style and he'd begin to talk like an over-the-top cartoon villain, and this made fans question what on earth WWE were even thinking. Cena would revisit classic feuds with Randy Orton and Punk, but due to limited bills, the feuds weren't explored to the fullest, and WWE even made the contested call to have Cena feud with R-Truth during his final run. Cena wasted 2 matches on Truth and even lost one of them via DQ. Cena would also spend a number of dates working with Logan Paul, which naturally upset the fans. However, it's worth addressing that his match with Logan Paul in Paris was rather splendid. Just before SummerSlam 2025, Triple H decided to pivot on the entire Cena heel turn and basically retcon the whole turn. Cena would randomly be back to being a good guy, and the past few months were just erased from existence. Cena would make amends with fans, Cody Rhodes, and even R-Truth, and fans were just supposed to forget it ever occurred. Cena as a heel was such a huge opportunity to deliver some compelling television, but Triple H massively dropped the ball. Fans have theorized that Cena was dissatisfied with the heel turn and ordered a direct pivot. A lot of Cena comments and interviews support this theory. If this is the case, nobody can blame him. And it'll be interesting to see what Cena states about his heel persona when he's officially out of WWE next year. But there you have it, folks. 10 things.
So yeah, hopefully we still got things starting to get a little better. If not, it's just WWE ain't not. It look like it's slowly going down. I mean, I don't want it to go down. I don't want any promotion failing at all. Here's the thing, I hate there's folks who are like that because of the tribalism or anything. I just want everybody to succeed no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, what y'all thought on this? If you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy TBR signing off. One love.